Now, the Pan-Africanism that was started by the forefathers, they did well because they were dealing with trying to get rid of the racist, get rid of the colonialist. And I have to say they did a fair job on that. Of course, what they did not succeed in doing, as you notice, if you look at the Cairo Declaration of 1974, as Professor Hardy mentioned, you see that there was a decision to keep the colonial borders. Now we know by all research that that was a disastrous decision. Why is that? Because you get rid of the colonialists, as in physically, say, oh, go, go, go. But the damage that has been done has not been looked at. So they've done part of the job. What we need to do is now start looking at the damage that was done. Why was that conference not 4 days? Why was it 104 days? Why did it not deal with each nation? Why did it have to cancel the borders, disfigure the whole place? Now, let's just go back a little bit. The first Western Europeans that came to the African shores, let's be honest, they didn't come shooting at people. And for about a whole generation, they were trading normally. So, they could trade normally. They did it. So they could have continued trading normally. There was no need to split this border, split that border. I don't know how many of you have seen the rattle python attack the hens and chickens. If you're not living in the village, you wouldn't know this. I've seen that myself. And what it does is it clucks like a hen. The rattle python clucks like a hen. And the chicks approach because they think that's the hen, the mother calling. And what the rattle python does is, because it's got signals to sense movement. It can't see properly, but it can pick up movements excellently. Positional movements. It will lash its tail and cause chaos. And in that chaos, most of the hens actually flee for their lives. And it picks up the chicks one by one. There are only a few, I don't know how to explain that, a few hens that will stand and fight. Most of them will flee. It's a deadly sight if you see it. So when you bring in the Berlin Conference, you create divisions of the borders, you split everything, and you put the wrong person with the wrong person, but that's all deliberate. Okay? Because the explorers know everybody. They've gone there, they've traveled, they've discovered all the river Nigers, they've discovered all the Victoria Falls. So it's not as if they don't know the borders, they know all of that. But the idea was to split in a configuration that will be dysfunctional. Because that's the only way you can do exploitation. Because otherwise, if you trade with each nation that has its own consensus, you will have to bargain. You don't get a lot of traitors in a homogeneous community. It's very different. It is 25 times more difficult to get a traitor in a homogeneous community. But if you mix so many cooks to cook the broth, it will be a sour broth.